go ahead and drop it right now. So where's everyone from, basically? California, Los Angeles, Bay Area, Pennsylvania, LA. Right, awesome, 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 right? Of course, I like smart money concepts. So basically, right, on your USD, I was just outlining the downtrend. Let me actually join this on my phone so I could see what you guys see.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so basically, right, we had your USD right here, and I was just outlining the higher time frame trend, right? So originally we had an uptrend, right, on the daily, which I still want to believe it could be shifting to a downtrend, right? Because we had this breaker structure, change of character, right? And the market did come back up to test these levels, and it did make a new high, but it's kind of conflicting information to me because we didn't have any candles close above, right? But just assuming that we're gonna trade not based on how we feel, but based on the rules that we follow, we could agree to say that this is a uptrend on the 4 hour. So we would just continue to follow that uptrend movement, right? So on the 4 hour for your USD, we want to ask ourselves, based on the previous impulse, right? Based on the last impulse, right? This being the last impulse up. Well, not really this, but that is probably the last daily impulse up. Let's say this is the last 4 hour impulse up. Right? We would measure this move and look for the best place to buy or sell. Now I have this 4 hour zone outlined. So assuming that at some point this week, we had a base, a rally, and a corrective move back into the zone, I would look to take longs at this 4 hour zone this week, right? It will probably be sent as a signal. Probably be sent as a signal if you're in any of the chats or the apps, or you could just look for confirmation on your own and make that trading decision, right? Taking into consideration the best place to buy, you want to also look at the best place to possibly sell for a corrective move. So if the market decides not to go down to this buy zone, for me to go ahead and take longs, I would consider sells at this area right here, right? Because that would be the 1 hour supply area. Based off of the 1 hour structure, we have lower lows and lower highs. I would just assume that's the corrective move down into our buy area, right? So you want to be the person to go on your charts, outline your 4 hour and your 1 hour zones so that you can pay attention when the market gets there. I'm actually just going to place alerts at these prices so that I'm alerted when the market decides to get into these areas. All right. So that's your USD. I'm just gonna go through maybe 5 or 6, right? So that's your USD, right? So these are the high probability areas to look for buys or sells on your USD, right? GBP USD. GBP USD, based on the structure, this would be a higher time frame downtrend, right? We have daily swings down. We had this last impulse, removing all of these lows, and then we have this daily supply area where we could expect a reaction, right? So the market came in, tapped that area twice. So we can assume, once we have that greater structure, once the higher time frame trend starts to continue bearish, we can look for entries, right? So currently we have this 4-hour uptrend. So the 4-hour is pretty much bullish, right? But it's reacting to a daily supply zone. So once the trend is confirmed bearish, you could probably ride it down to however long it goes, as well as if the market decides to just shoot up and remove this supply zone, break this high, we would, obviously change our bias to bears, right? So I have these arrows on the screen to kind of indicate my bias, because in trading, you want to have a bias, you want to have a story, basically where you think the market is headed, so you can make those high probability decisions, right? For your USD, I have an down arrow, but I would like to see the trend change and continue up. If it doesn't, then that's fine. We just react to the market. We don't really try to tell it where to go, right? So right now, what I'm waiting on the GBP USD, to me, it's kind of just not in too much of a high probability areas right now. So I would just wait for this market to develop, and probably Tuesday or Wednesday, once we have more price action, I have probably some break of structure, right, in whichever direction it's trending in, then I can make a decision. But for now, this candlestick right here, which was unemployment last week, unemployment news last week, kind of disrupted the flow of these lower time frame structures, right? So I would wait. I would wait. I'll be patient, but based on the rules that we follow, this would be an interesting area to buy, and this would be an interesting area to sell, right? Because we did tap into higher time frame supply, right? And just drop a 2 in the chat if you're following me so far. We did tap into a higher time frame supply right here. This is the 1 hour, right? We did tap into a higher time frame supply here. We had structure broken, right? We did have a 1 hour structure broken, a 1 hour low created. So if the market reversed and come up here, then we would look to take it down, right? And that would be in line with our higher time frame bias. So that's GBP, JPY, and once the 4 hour structure is also broken, then that would be, that would make our trades even higher confluence, right? So we have USD, JPY. USD, JPY is in an uptrend, higher time frame uptrend. Since earlier this week, we looked at the lows, the liquidity, right? Equal highs being taken, and we could see the daily structure is bullish, right? Now we expected for these highs to be taken, and the market is currently reacting to this 4 hour zone. right? So we'll just go ahead and follow the trend and enter off of high probability discounted areas, right? So last week we had this would be the daily impulse right here, right? And then we had a rally, base rally, retracement, the market entered here, and then we had a rally, base rally, right? And the market came back and tapped into this forward zone. Now, what I would do is this impulsive move, it kind of removed a lot of the previous data, right? From the market structure. So what I would do is wait for the market to start creating more structure, and hopefully we have some form of breaker structure to go long, or hopefully the market comes down into this zone so we could go ahead and take it back up, right? My bias on USD JPY would be longs, hopefully to grab some longs at some point this week. So what you would need to do is obviously go on the market, go on a trend, outline these zones. You know, hopefully, if you're thinking ahead, probably just take screenshots and go ahead and try to mark these up on your own time. All right. And we have liquidity at the top, even more reason for the market to go long. Gold, 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 gold. Gold is trending up, and even with there's some drama in Russia right now that I was just reading about. We know that in times of uncertainty, in times of war, the value of gold is going to go up, right? And there's a lot of uncertainty with whatever is going on in the news with Russia and Ukraine. Or I don't really pay too much attention, but I know that something's going on, right? So if anything happens, if any bomb drops, or if there's any drama, then the value of gold is gonna go up, right? So basically, I'm bullish on gold. However, we just came into this higher time frame supply zone. We had this breaker structure. The overall structure is bullish, right? So we kind of just expecting for these highs to be taken out. Right? Kind of just expecting for these highs to be taken out. So hopefully at some point this week, right, gold retraces, and these moves are easily retraced, right? These impulsive moves are easily retraced. So hopefully sometime this week gold retraces so we can take it up. If it doesn't retrace, then we would have to take it up on some demand zone that may form, as well as we can have opportunities on the correction down, right? But this would only be on the lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, it's possible we could get that correction, but the best decision would be to wait for higher time frame longs. But if you can't resist the urge to wait for the longs, then possibly you could take a chance on the correction that may come down to this area, right? Because with this empty, inefficient price, basically the market just going in one direction, the market tends to come back to correct these moves. Drop a 3 in the chat if you follow it. Right? Great. US 30, drop a 4 in the chat if you want to go ahead and do the US 30 analysis. I know this is some of y'all favorite pairs, right? US 30. Basically, it's pretty simple, right? We have basically this large move right here that the market made, signaling, okay, this could possibly be a short-term bear trend, right? We had those broken. So the question is, will there be a lower high, right? Will this be the lower high, right? Now the market came into this supply zone right here, tapped it and then dropped, right? Now at that drop, this is a 4-hour time frame. Now at that drop, we had up until that drop, I was bullish, right? But then we had this break of structure right here. And we know that, you know, a bullish trend is high highs, right? High highs and high lows. But here the market made a lower low. So that, you know, you can't ignore the structure of the market, right? Now the market made a lower low. And that signals to me that I should be looking for shorts. And we're currently reacting off of this 4-hour demand zone right here, right? This 4-hour demand zone was very good. We had a rally-based rally, which removed previous zones and broke previous structures. So this was a very high probability zone that we have a reaction off of, but it could be a zone that would be broken, right? Because based on the historical data, based on the structure, based on the 4-hour, the 4-hour and the 1-hour is bearish. So we would ride with that until we have no reason to, right? So the structure only changes once we have this 1-hour structure, well, this 4-hour structure broken, right? So once we get this 4-hour structure broken, basically the market has to remove this high, then we could begin to look for longs again. But until then we look for shorts, right? No, that's not to say we can't take any retracements, right? So what I would want to do this week is basically I would want to look for a counter trend long into this zone. If the market doesn't just go straight to it, I would look for a counter trend long into that zone, right? And then once the market gets into the zone, I would look for a short, right? The short could either come, the market may, and US 30 tends to do this, just dip above the highs just a little to collect liquidity, and then create that breaker structure to go down, right? So that's what I'm currently waiting on for US 30. Like, as well as you can see, we had the structure broken. The market likes to retrace after breaking structure near the highs. So whoever had their stop losses below here got stopped out, and then most likely when we have a candlestick close on the other side, a lot of breakout traders would probably want to trade this move right here, right? Put in the shorts below right here, which gives the market more incentive to just, put in the, stop losses above here, because obviously they'll be looking to go short, right? Which gives the market more incentive to rally into our zone and then go ahead, right? So what I want is a corrective move back into this zone to take it down. That would be my bias on US 30. So I would place an alert here. And then once it gets there, no matter what time it is, I'm gonna go ahead and look to see if I could make a trading decision, right? Drop a 5 if you follow. Okay, good, good, all right. Your AUD. Your AD, we have a higher time frame uptrend, right? We're gonna go ahead and follow that trend. Basically, rally, pullback, rally, pullback, rally, rally, base rally. The market is reacting off of these demand zones being created, right? So we have a beautiful daily demand zone right here. Base, two candles, two engulfing candles extending away, and then we have a slow retracement, right? This was a trade that was called last week, one of the live sessions. We basically went long right down here and rode it up for 100 pips, 150 pips, and now we have a retracement back down to our entry, right? We could potentially look to re-enter longs. So we have this 4 hour nested above this daily, and then we have this 1 hour created, all right? So let's dive down to the one. Basically on the 1 hour nested within the 4 hour zone, we had that breaker structure to give us confirmation to go higher, right? I would consider this the 1 hour impulse. And this would be the retracement back to the zone to continue higher, right? This would be the 1 hour zone, which we already had that reaction off of. So my bias for your ED would be longs, right? Until we have, no reason not to go long. So I'll put this little arrow here that reminds me that my bias is longs, right? So this reaction after 1 hour, now we're down to the 30, 15 minutes. What I would do this week or when the market opens is simply just observe your AUD. And if it decides to retrace down to these nested 5-minute zones, I would definitely consider taking longs, right? However, it doesn't have to retrace. It could just continue. And when it continues, I would just enter off of the new zones created, right? Because a lot of the times it doesn't matter how high or how low you enter the market. Once the trend begins, you'll have opportunity and you'll take good risk to reward. So let's say this is the trend, you would have multiple opportunities to continue the trend to get in for good risk to rewards, right? You just want to find an established trend, basically. Nas, drop a 6 in the chat if you follow. Right, so Nas 100. Okay, so Nas 100, I believe, is bullish. So I have a little arrow right there. We have the market reacting off of this 4 hour zone. We have this low right here. All of this was a retracement, right? We had the breaker structure confirming the higher time frame trend is bearish, right? So the market came in, reacted off of this 4 hour drop, rally base drop. Basically, we had a nice base. We had a nice impulsive move away. Very strong red candle, and the market stayed away and slowly crept back in, right? As you can see, that was the highest quality zone since, let's see, January 28th, January 22nd, right? Highest quality zone since January 22nd. So this would have been an area to look for shots, as well as we had the reaction. The market stayed away, came back, and reacted to this 2 hour zone right here, right? And then obviously dropped, broke structure. So we could clearly identify that this is a bearish market. We have liquidity at the bottom, below, right? Multiple equal lows. So what we would do, we would wait for the market to come in, plus take it short, right? On this 4-hour zone right here. Right, so previously, market came in, we had a drop, base drop, same scenario, like here, a clear zone, we had a clear drop, right? The market stayed away, slowly came back, and gave us opportunity to go short. I'm pretty sure a lot of people made money on the short right here because it was very easy to identify, right? So all we have to do now is wait for the market to create the structures, come into the zone for us to take it lower, right? I don't believe it makes sense to take any longs because the shorts is just too clear, too clean, and we have too much liquidity below, right? Equal lows for us to consider taking any counter trends, right? So it would just be wise to be patient, set an alert, all right? And when it gets there, it gets there, right? Drop a 7 in the chat if you follow. Okay, great. Australian dollar, right? Australian dollar. I want to believe it's in a higher time frame downtrend, right? Which the market did react to this daily zone right here. We had a clean rally base drop. We had a corrective move back, right? We had a corrective move back, right? And now we want to see some breaks or structures, some opportunities to take it lower, right? Because we haven't having this reaction of the daily with the higher time frame bearish. We have liquidity at the bottom, so it would only make sense to look for shots, right? But we have this unemployment candle right here. This volatility had the market tap into our deeper into the daily zone. Now I could agree to say that it's bearish, not only because the higher time frame, but we had this 1 hour breaker structure right here. Market creating lower lows. And once the market creates the second lower low, it would put the probabilities higher in our favor, right? I would look for shots at this zone right there. So let me just map this right here. So I wouldn't mind taking shots at that zone or this one. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It was good analysis, right? The lower time frame is still, this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high. I mean, once we break this 1 hour structure, I would have a lot more confidence to short USD. I mean, AUD USD, right? But for now, I would look for shots. Probably, how long? I don't know, maybe a few years. I met him at a meetup with Q in New York, and we were just friends since probably 3 or 4 years. GBP, JPY. GPGPY is bullish, right? Basically, this would be the structure. This would be the daily at 4. This would be the 4 structure. The market just tapped above these highs, reacted to this supply zone right here, right? This daily supply zone, but the market is bullish, right? It's created new highs. Well, kind of looks like it could go either direction, right? But it doesn't matter which direction it goes. It matters how we reacted. So we'll take into consideration both directions and make high probability trading decisions on each. So basically, we have this base and this rally that accomplished a lot that we're currently having a reaction off of, all right? What I would do is basically wait if the market gets into this zone, because this can be ignored, right? A clear base, 2 candles away, removing a lot of previous zones. So if we get that corrective move back, I'll probably take the risk to go short, right? If we don't, then I'll probably take the risk to go long at this zone right here, because this zone also accomplished a lot, right? You also want to look at these zones and ask yourself exactly what has these zones accomplished. All right, so that is GBP, JPY. Drop a 8 in the chat if you follow. All right, so we're taking, well, this is recorded, so I'll probably drop a 1 in the chat if you want me to probably post a recording on YouTube so you can look at it during the week. All right, so I'll drop the recording on YouTube. USD CHF. This pair has some big swings, right? So basically, we have a higher time frame uptrend, right? We have a higher time frame uptrend. The market at the higher highs, higher lows, right? Basically, I have the trend color coded. So the blue would be the daily swings, and the gray would be the 4-hour swings, right? You had the market come down. We had this reaction off the 4-hour zone right here. All right, this was a 4-hour zone. You'll see when we dive down. And then we had the breaker structure, right? Just to basically continue the uptrend, right? So we had a base rally. This was already tapped, but the market did come down and tap it again. Also taking this liquidity with it. Right, taking this liquidity with it, right? And then we had, several breaks of structure. We had basically this zone being created. After tapping into this zone, we removed this supply. The market had a clean move away, it stayed away, it retraced back to go long. This would have been a phenomenal long if anybody took it, right? Then we had this breaker structure right here. And we had this basically rally base rally responsible for breaking this, responsible for breaking this structure right here. And then the market came back, tapped it, right? And continue the rally. So what I'm anticipating is for this high to obviously be broken again, right? It's 4-hour high. But on the way up, we have to obviously look for clear areas to go long. So just like many of the other pairs, we had this volatile move right here, kind of wiping out this previous price action, right? So I would ask myself, what would be the best place to buy or the best place to sell, right? So we have this consolidation right here. This is consolidation, basically markets to the one place. So I'll just outline this right here. We can even factorize it to this area right here. So let's put this as the 1 hour. All right, so that would be the 1 hour right here. Basically, the base for this zone. I'll just do this. The reason why I'm looking at this zone is because, for one, this zone accomplished a lot, and we have liquidity right here. So I would assume the market wants to come down, take out these equal lows, right? Take out the stop losses down here. And yeah, it can rally from this area, but there's a demand zone right here. So why not tap it before going long, right? So for USD CHF, that's the area I would look to take it long, right? So I'll probably just set an alert right there. I'll probably just set an alert right there. And once it gets there, I would send it out. Or, once I have some confirmation, right? That's USD CHF. Drop a 9 in the chat if you follow, right? Yeah, I know this is a lot. You see, on the weekends, the market is now moving. So you can literally just sit down, take your time, and go through some higher time frame analysis, right? And then once you have your outlook for the week, you made that outlook without being influenced by anything else. You simply just follow that outlook as the week progresses. So Euro NZD been on an uptrend, a daily uptrend, right? Taking up highs. We have this rally, and this retracement back, right? We had the market tap into this 4-hour zone nested within the daily. And we also have a 1-hour zone yet to be tapped. Basically, we had this clear rally, right? A nice corrective move back. It would be nice to see the market come in to this zone, because this zone here is practically perfect, right? We have this base and the extension away, the corrective move back, right? Still correcting. So this is almost a near perfect zone in the 1 hour. So if the market comes into this zone right here, we could take a confident buy, right? However, it doesn't have to do that. It continue straight and then provide opportunities on the way, right? So basically what I would do is wait for the market. Well, you see I already have my alert set there. And I would just wait for the opportunity to go long. If I have to go long, it would either be at the 1 hour zone, or I would wait for the breaker structure and enter off of the structural demand zones created. Demand zones created to go long, right? That is Euro NZD. Yeah, let me go ahead and do GBP card for this person, iPhone. What's the iPhone? So the first thing you want to do is kind of just have a look at the trend, see where the higher time frame trend is headed, right? And we could see on the daily, basically, we had a breaker structure, right? And the market looks like it wants to continue higher, right? This daily uptrend is not too super confirmed until we have this high taken, right? This high is yet to be taken. I'm pretty sure the 4-hour trend is going to be up, right? So right here would be a supply zone because this zone is responsible for basically breaking structure, right? Basically had a breaker structure. I'll do USD CAD as well, right? Basically, we had a breaker structure right there. The market finally retraced back to the zone. Tapped it twice, right? Dropped 150 pips, but it's headed back up. Headed back up right now. So this would be an interesting area to look for shorts. If the market does break through, then we would look for longs in this area right here, right? But this was a nice, pretty good area as well. USD, please. We already did USD. That was the first one. Yeah, it looks like it might just go through, right? Because if the market is tapping the zone several times, that kind of indicates that it's just gonna go through at some point. Right. However, I'll still consider taking shots because we had a nice base, nice impulse away, corrective move back. So I'll probably look for shots in this area right here. For GBP CAD, I'll probably look at GBP USD as confluence to say, okay, well, this is where the pound is headed. So maybe that will be an influence on GBP CAD, right? So we have the best place to buy and the best place to sell on the chart. So we're gonna do USD CAD. We'll go over your USD one more time, and then we'll hop off, right? Oh no, I'll take a few questions and then we'll hop off. Let's do USD. No, I haven't been doing any crypto trades. All right, so USD CAD. Higher time frame, we had an uptrend, right? This is probably the weekly. All right, so weekly, we had an uptrend, right? Market came, took out these highs, but then I believe we had a breaker structure right here. This looks like a breaker structure. Oh, yeah, breaker structure on the daily. Okay, a breaker structure on the daily, right? after the removal of those highs, which the market tends to do. And this is just the retracement, right? So the retracement into the zone. So I could agree that the daily on USD CAD is bearish, right? We have this zone here. We have this zone here. This zone, this is a reaction off of this. Then we also have this, right? So what I would do is basically the market spent a lot of time inside of this zone. So it looks like it could be broken, right? So the best place to sell would be in this area, or to buy would be in that area, but that's higher time frame. We have to look for something that is more nearby, right? Because most of us are short-term traders. So we have had the market react to this zone right here, the 4-hour nested zone, which is a very beautiful zone. We had a very beautiful base drop, corrective move away, right? And then we also had this breaker structure right here. And we had the market tap into this zone right here, right? And it came down. We had liquidity at the bottom here, right? That was tapped into, which also made a lower low. You're welcome, right? So what I would do is basically, I would look for shots in this area right here. And if the shots don't come through, that would be 1L. I would look for longs, right, in that area. But I'm more leaning towards shots, right? So this was volume from unemployment right there. What the previous pricing. So this should be an interesting area to look for shots on USD CAD. Obviously, you let the market kind of find its direction for Monday, Sunday, and I'm pretty sure by Tuesday we would have, you know, the key elements we need to know which direction the market is headed. But I believe USD CAD is going down, right? However, if it doesn't go down, we're ready to take it higher. You can't be married to one direction, right? You have to be open to just reacting off of whatever the market does. Your USD again, which is probably the easiest one. Basically, we have 4-hour uptrend, right? We have 4-hour uptrend. And we're waiting for the market to come back into this 4-hour zone right here for us to take it long, all right? The zone is a clear base extension away. Now we're having that corrective move back into the zone. We would like to take it higher. However, if the market does not come into the zone within the first few days, then we were prepared to take it lower. Well, we're prepared to take the counter trend into the zone off of this 1-hour structure, right? So we have the corrective move on the lower time frame headed towards our zone. So if we get that corrective move into our zone, then we would probably take a shot here to go lower into our zone and then take it long from there to go higher, right? So drop a 10 in the chat if you've been following. You took notes, you took screenshots, and you're ready to have an amazing week in the market this week. All right, so basically, I have one thing I would like everyone to go ahead and do for me is go to my Instagram and report this fake account that been practically scamming a bunch of people, right? So I have this fake account. I put it in my stories. I also put it in the chat. So you could go ahead and just report that account so that nobody gets basically um, scammed, right? So have a great week, guys. Just hit me up if you need anything, and I'll be there to answer. All right. You're welcome.